It's Friday, July 2nd, 2021. Before I start today's video, I want to remind all of you to come over to my Patreon channel. I will be uploading a brand new video this weekend. It's a very, very powerful video. I think everybody needs to see it. And of course, we're going to be putting a lot of stuff on our Texas trip on Patreon. So please come over and subscribe to Patreon. It really helps to support this channel. Also, make sure that you are subscribed to this channel right here. Hit that bell notification down below so that you are alerted with the newest videos. I also want everybody to go back and check out my last 3 videos in LA with Dan Golka. It's so important, ladies and gentlemen, to see what is happening. We went down to Los Angeles, filmed the homeless epidemic, the retail closures. It's a retail apocalypse happening in Los Angeles. And we went down there and we filmed this because we thought it was so important to show you what is really happening in the big cities in America. And you look at LA, the second biggest city in the country, and the infrastructure crumbling, the people sleeping on sidewalks, vets, families. It's just horrendous what people are going through. And we film this stuff because we don't want to see anyone out there land up in the same position, okay? People are living paycheck to paycheck. People don't have money saved up. You miss you lose a job, you miss a paycheck, and all of a sudden you're facing a bad situation. You could be homeless. Look, nobody gets any satisfaction filming this kind of stuff and sharing it with you, but it has to be done because people are suffering. And as long as this economy continues to collapse, and it's going to get much worse, we're going to see more of this. When the evictions come, we're going to see more of this. When people continue to lose jobs, we're going to see more of this. When the dollar becomes obsolete or becomes worthless, as it's going to be under a lot more pressure and your purchasing power is destroyed, we're going to see a lot more of this on the streets of America. More homeless, more people starving, more people with addictions, more people looking for help, and there is going to be no help. And we're seeing right now that if you land up in a bad place, there's not going to be a whole lot of help right now to help you out, to pull you out of there. What's going to happen as this collapse progresses? Think about this. It's not fun to watch, okay? It's scary, it's disturbing, it's ugly, it's painful, it's sad, but people need to see these videos to understand what they're dealing with or what you could be dealing with. So don't become a victim of this economy. This is why it's so important to be protecting yourself right now, to have some side hustles, to have some tangible hard assets put away. This is why you have some gold, some silver put away, some food, some skills. You do not want to land up where these people land up, because once you do, it's very hard to get out. But I want to start with the first article today. I printed out a bunch of articles I want to share with all of you. The first one here on CNBC. Treasury yields fall after June unemployment rate edges up to 5.9% from 5.8%. Now, if you believe that the unemployment number is only 5.9%, you believe in the tooth fairy. I looked at John Williams' shadowstats.com today. He has a completely different number. We'll get to that, but I want to talk a little bit more about this article. The Fed is not going to taper, but yet if the economy is booming and we're not worried about these unemployment numbers and we're not worried about the jobless claims we got on Thursday, well, why isn't the Fed tapering? Why is the Fed's balance sheet continuing to expand? If we're on the road to recovery, if the economy is booming, why are they not tapering? Why is the balance sheet expanding? Because it's not recovering. Now, I looked at shadowstats.com, John Williams. Unemployment, including long-term discouraged and displaced workers, as of June 2021, was 25.8%, down from 26% in May. CNBC, weekly jobless claims total hits new crisis era low of 364,000. That's the good news today, ladies and gentlemen, that only 364,000 Americans filed first-time jobless claims last week during this economic boom. This with record incentives to get people to go back to work. And we have another 364,000 Americans filing first-time unemployment claims last week. And that's supposed to be the good news. Wow. I cannot stress enough, as I make these videos, I don't give anybody financial advice. I'm thinking out loud. I'm sharing with you what I'm doing, what my personal friends are doing, what my network is doing. They're buying gold and they are buying silver, and this stuff is not easy to get. Many places do not have physical gold and silver in inventory right now. Why is that? Because there's a group of people out there that know that something is wrong, something is coming. CNBC, here's where the jobs are. We got the job numbers today, 850,000 jobs created in June. Now, not really created. Most of these jobs are just old jobs that people are returning to, right? We're not hearing anything about real job creation, job growth. These are just old jobs that people are going back to. 850,000 jobs in June. So that's the incredible news here. But it's even better news if you're a bartender or you're a waitress. And why is that? Well, leisure and hospitality, well, they saw 343,000 new jobs in June. So 850,000 new jobs in June. 343,000 of those were in leisure and hospitality, and a majority of those in leisure and hospitality, the majority of those jobs were bartenders and waitresses. We added 188,000 government jobs. Wow, just what we need to do. Keep expanding the government, right? Just what we need to do. 188,000 new government jobs. Professional and business services, 72,000. Wholesale trade, 21,000. Healthcare and social assistance, 20,000. So, we look at leisure and hospitality, low-paying jobs. We look at healthcare and social assistance, low-paying jobs. We look at manufacturing, a whopping. We just hear about like, oh, America's, manufacturing. We're making so much here. We added in the booming economy 15,000 jobs. Information, 14,000. Transportation and warehouse, 10,000. I mean, that is measly. Financial activities, we lost 1,000. Construction, we lost 7,000 jobs. So when I look at leisure and hospitality, most of the government jobs were teachers and teacher aides. We look at healthcare, we look at transportation and warehouse. I mean, information, these are all low wage jobs. What we need to see is manufacturing jobs picking up. We should be seeing manufacturing jobs in the hundreds of thousands, but that would only happen if we were actually in a real recovering economy where we actually made something. CNBC, President on June jobs report, our economy is on the move. I don't think anything could be farther from the truth. We just have people returning to old jobs, ladies and gentlemen. Where are the new jobs? Where are the real, well-paying jobs? They're very far and few between. Do you really think America is going to exist as a world superpower if all we have, if a majority of our jobs are in leisure and hospitality and government? Good luck. The hedge today, June auto sales plunge. Stock market up. We're looking at record highs on Wall Street. The economy's on the move, but yet auto sales are plunging because they cannot get chips and semiconductors. Here's another article coming from CNBC. Ford's June sales declined by 26.9% as company misses second quarter expectations. That is absolutely enormous. Yet the stock market is at record highs. In a normal market that wasn't manipulated and rigged, we would have seen a crash by looking at these kind of numbers. 26.9% decline by Ford. But I go back to the question, why are we not making our own chips and semiconductors right here in America? See, this is the problem. When we have to depend on other countries for pharmaceuticals, for semiconductors, for chips, we were just talking today, to get an air conditioner right now would take, what, 3 to 4 weeks? 3 to 4 weeks. If you lose an air conditioner right here in the desert right now, the air conditioning guy said it's going to take 3 or 4 weeks to replace the unit. Why are we not making these things right here in America? I mean, just think about this. We're in an economic boom, and you can't buy a car, and you can't even get an air conditioning unit right now. And just think of how dangerous this is. I mean, it's 115 degrees right now out here in the desert, 75 here at the house with the air on. But if that air goes out, we got big trouble. And a lot of people will have very, very big trouble. But could you imagine 115, 120 degree weather, and they tell you it's going to be 4 weeks till we can get you an air conditioning? I mean, it really puts people in a very vulnerable position. But this is what happens when a country relies on the world to produce everything for them. The hedge. It's too late to save Christmas. Retailers brace for unprecedented shortages of everything. Who's going to even be able to afford anything this Christmas? I think this Christmas will be the worst Christmas we've ever seen, at least in my lifetime. You know, please comment down below. I would love to know your opinion. What is this Christmas going to look like? What are we going to see? So please comment down below. And I say that because I'm going to follow it up with a few articles here. Almost 15 million Americans remain on government dole despite initial claims drop. Okay, so what kind of Christmas will they have? And how many people are not even being counted now that have rolled off the dole? Who've come out of college, can't find a job, whose unemployment has expired, who don't qualify now for unemployment, they don't even count. So again, we go back to shadowstats.com. You're looking at real unemployment in America right now, 25.8%. That to me spells a very disastrous Christmas. How about this? More than 72 million Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. What are they going to do this Christmas? I guess they'll do, what they always do is use the credit card and run up the credit cards. Millions of people haven't even paid off the credit card balance from last Christmas, okay, for 2020. And they haven't even paid that off, and we're now in July of 2021. But I mean, think about this. I want you to just think about this. More than 72 million Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Yet, stock market at a record high. You think it even matters? Does the stock market even matter to most people watching this video? Does it even matter to most Americans? Does it matter to the 72 million Americans who are living paycheck to paycheck? Imagine you lost your job tomorrow. How long would you be able to sustain your current lifestyle? Could you sustain it a week, a month, a year? Ask yourself that. And then go back and watch those videos in Hollywood and downtown Los Angeles. This is why I make these videos, because I don't want to see this ever happen to anybody that I know or anybody watching these videos. And it's going to happen to a lot of people. And people snicker and they laugh and they go, "Oh, JB, that could never happen. I drive a BMW. I make $85,000 a year. I could never land up out there. I'm immune to that." You are drinking the Kool-Aid if you think that. You need to have a plan. You need to have assets. You need to have cash reserves. And so many people, again, are living paycheck to paycheck. They miss one paycheck, they got big trouble. 2 paychecks, 3 paychecks, they got serious trouble. They have an emergency. The kid falls down, needs 20 stitches on his leg. Big trouble. Car breaks down, transmission, $4,000. They're in the red. They've got big trouble. Now they're playing catch up. What's going to happen when this real estate market flips and people become upside down? People that borrowed all that money out of their homes to buy cryptocurrencies. People who thought they were millionaires because they were actually paper millionaires because their house went up. We are in the land of illusion, ladies and gentlemen. And illusions can change in the blink of an eye. How about this? 1/5 of young adults are neither working nor studying. Right here in America, we have a deadbeat society. How do these people eat? How do they survive? How do they pay their bills? I guess they're on the government dole. These people, like these young people right here, 1/5 of young adults not working or studying. What's going to happen when reality comes to America and this economy collapses, this dollar collapses, when your standard of living collapses, and those checks no longer come in the mail, or that card that you swipe that the government gives you no longer buys you anything. Or what happens when the inflation gets so out of control that your money basically is worthless? Do you have a skill set? Do you know anything? Do you know how to do anything? No, you've been sitting on a couch watching cartoons, smoking dope, not learning anything, not producing anything, not making anything, not earning anything. And these people are going to be so vulnerable. These are the same people who are going to be out there on the streets of Los Angeles or in the streets of other parts of America. These are going to be the people, and these people are going to have absolutely no survival skills. They are going to be absolute victims. The hedge: restaurants have no choice but to raise menu prices amid inflationary pressures. Going back to food, I've been to, I go out to eat lunch a couple times a week, maybe dinner once or twice a week. The food is going down the tubes, in my opinion. There's some restaurants that are still very, very good, but so many who have just fallen down the tubes. And the service has gone with it. So I like to be greeted. I like great service. And these people just act like they're doing you a favor. And while they give you very, very low, poor quality food. And please comment down below. I'd love to know. I talked about this probably a couple months ago. But the food quality that I'm seeing is going down. The quality of service going down, and yet what's going up? The price is going up. You get less food, less quality, and less service, and you pay more. I had a $12 burger, burgers and fry combo at some little, rinky-dink diner, and it was probably one of the worst burgers I've ever had. $12 for a burger, fries, and a Coke from, one of these little, diner, eat-in or takeout places. Horrible, horrible. I talked a while back about the terrible barbecue. I had one of these barbecue chains. I went to one of these steak chains, had a terrible sandwich. And, the service is deteriorating, the food quality deteriorating, and it's almost like these people at these restaurants don't even want to be there. They don't even want to be working there. So let me know what you think about that. But as this article goes on to say, restaurants big and small are raising prices because of increasing cost of labor and commodities: vegetables, meat, dairy, oil, sugar. Look at seafood. Prices are erupting. Combine this with labor costs, and you get a sticker shock. And I cannot believe the cost of food now at the grocery store, let alone I go into a little burger joint and grab a burger. I mean, just think if you got a family of 4 or 5, what this costs. And, at least give us good quality. But, we're seeing stagflation. We're seeing shrinkflation. We are witnessing a perfect storm here. Another article on The Hedge today: mortgage apps crash to pre-crisis lows as home buyer confidence collapses. Despite near record high confidence among home builders and realtors whose salaries depend on it. Remember that. Home builders and realtors, they need to stay positive. They're going to tell you how great the housing market is, how it's going to continue to just erupt and go crazy, because this is how they make money. They need you to buy into the illusion. And if you don't, they don't make money. At the end of the day, home buyer confidence is what matters. And as soon as that confidence is lost, the home builder, the realtors, the housing market, all of it becomes trouble. And that day is coming. And again, mortgage apps crashed to pre-crisis lows. We saw lumber sales come down, I think 10% this week. I was just at Home Depot and Lowe's. They're loaded with lumber. I don't think there's any shortage. So things are going to start slowing down in housing. Now the question is, how much does it slow down? And when is the housing crash going to happen? So nobody has a crystal ball. Nobody knows. But what we've been witnessing is not going to continue. Things are beginning to slow down, and prices will fall. Now, once this eviction crisis takes place, once the mortgage forbearances expire, we're going to see big changes in the housing market. Remember, it all boils down to confidence. And once people lose confidence in the real estate market, if they lose confidence in the dollar, if they lose confidence in the stock market, then we got big trouble, right? If other countries begin to lose confidence in America, in the dollar, we got trouble. And that's all beginning to happen slowly, but quickly. This thing can pick up steam, and before you know it, we're going to witness a crash. Now, if we start seeing things, problems with the dollar, it's going to affect other segments like the stock market, like the housing market, bond market. So all this stuff is connected. Something will trigger one of these bubbles to burst, and then we're going to watch other bubbles burst with it. But this housing market has been absolutely on fire. We know why. Massive institutional money, hedge funds, pension funds, major investors coming in and propping all this up. They can't buy every home. They can't prop up the economy. And when you have 72 million Americans living paycheck to paycheck, how are those 72 million people able to buy a house, let alone even pay rent? Drivers will face the highest July 4th gasoline price in 7 years, and they are heading higher. No doubt we're going to watch oil continue to explode. And so as people go back to their 10 and 12 and $15 an hour jobs, they're going to be paying a lot more at the gas station. California, I believe, has just gotten another gas tax. So this state is absolutely falling apart. But across the country, we're going to be looking at 7-year highs as people are now going back to work, struggling, food prices going through the roof, stagflation, shrinkflation, and now get ready for the average cost of gasoline in San Diego right now, $4.26. It's probably closer to $4.80 in Los Angeles. We saw $6 gas there at one place, so it might even be over $5 here in the desert. I would say it's about $4.30. So people struggling with kids, struggling to buy food at the grocery store, struggling to pay rent. I mean, half of people's paychecks are just going to their mortgage or paying their rent. It's ludicrous what's going on. And everything is going up, including putting gas in your car to go back to work. And are you a waiter? Are you a waitress? You working in the service sector? I'll tell you, this is going to hurt a lot of people. A lot of people. It may not hurt people who are making a lot of money. You may just sneeze at this. Oh, gas went up, 10 cents. Oh, it's up 20 cents. It's no big deal. But it's going to affect the person who is struggling, which is a majority of America. It's going to affect the 72 million working paycheck to paycheck. Nobody is getting a break. There is no break. And this is what really bothers me is what is this going to look like by fall? What does this look like in 2022? It's like every dime you make is just being squeezed out of your pocket. So I'm going to leave it there. Things are not looking good, and I was horrified with what I saw in Los Angeles. Please check those videos out. The question is, what does this look like by Christmas? What is this economy going to look like in December? And what's it going to look like once the evictions start? I don't know. Scary, very scary to think about. All I can say is prepare the best that you can. If you're not preparing, please start preparing right now. This is absolutely no joke. Very, very tough economic times are coming to America. They're already here. Most of you, I'm sure, would agree. Most of you know that economically, right now in America, these are tough times, and they're about to get much, much tougher. God bless.